All right, time to crack open another cold one.
What, is the show over?
Oh, no. I think, I think SpaceX needs to make a beverage company.
They don't have enough to do?
Well, I'm just saying these frosty Starship prototypes look so refreshing. They're just covered in frost, and they just, and then they, they crack open.
Starship Ale.
Starship something. I mean, it could be Starship, could be Mars, could be Lunar, the Lunar IPA. I mean, I guess you already have Blue Moon or whatever, but I mean, it doesn't have to be alcoholic. It could be a soda, whatever, or a seltzer.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it is full of, maybe it's a nitrogenated instead of, because it's full of nitrogen when they do the pressure test.
I like it. Wait a minute. That's not a soda can?
No, that was actually SN3. So it crumpled on the test stand last Friday night. However, according to Elon, that was due to test configuration rather than flaws in the design or build of the tank itself. So basically, when we think of rockets, you kind of imagine like you light a match under it, and then there's like a little wick, and then it goes.
That's not how it's done.
That's not how these rockets work. These are liquid fueled rockets. So in this case, Starship is going to have a methane fuel. And obviously, when you're in space, in order to burn things, you need oxygen. Mm-hmm. So you need to bring that oxygen with you, and they do that with liquid oxygen. So you have these pressurized, in fact, cryogenic, so you lower the temperature, which makes them even smaller. Oh. So you can fit more stuff in these tanks, and you need multiple different tanks to do multiple different things. So in this test, they were focused on the methane tank, and they didn't pressurize the liquid oxygen tank. Now, when they do these tests, they're just using nitrogen because nitrogen is very inert. It will not blow up. But as you can see here, basically they didn't pressurize the liquid oxygen tank enough, which meant that this tank above it, which you're filling full of stuff, is getting heavier and heavier and heavier.
Oh, it
crushed it.
Oh, interesting.
So just in case you were wondering, like, is rocket science really that hard? It's pretty difficult. Pretty hard. Yeah. So then after this, everyday astronaut was asking Elon, like, how are you going to make sure that these rockets are safe since you've, destroyed 3 of them on the test stand? And Elon basically said that over time, they're going to be making them safer and safer and safer. Because, I mean, if you think about planes, for example, back in the turn of the century, back when planes just came out, there were a lot of plane crashes.
Yeah,
there were a lot of plane accidents and wings falling off. And
you got to experiment.
So this is where we're at with reusable rockets.
And these are test sites. You design these tests so that they can fail and not hurt anybody.
Right. And that's exactly what's happened here.
And I'd like to point out there's a lot of learning that goes on. Like in hindsight, it's easy for us to be like, oh, yeah, I would have definitely
I would have made sure that was pressurized. But
because it's obvious in hindsight, but
right.
It's not when you're first pioneering this stuff.
Right.
Also, they're moving so fast.
Right.
Like instead of sitting there for months, like what could go wrong? They're just doing it.
Right. And then they build another one. So, serial number 4 is on the way.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this kind of science.
And also, part of that rocket got crushed, but basically the thrust puck and all of the pieces at the bottom are still fine. So they just cut that off, put it on the next one. I think that that's really cool. Thanks so much for watching this Now You Know clip.
Head over to Now You Know channel for full episodes of Tesla Time news and in depth.
And if you want to treat yourself and your family to something amazing, check this out.
Jesse and I have been enjoying Masterclass, where we've been learning all sorts of fun topics from the masters themselves.
Yeah, business leadership skills from Bob Iger. Yeah, that Bob Iger.
Jazz from Herbie Hancock.
Basketball from Steph Curry. Yeah, that Steph Curry.
And so many more.
Click the link down below to support our channel and experience what it's like to learn from the masters at Masterclass.